Hey there, Gemini. It's Jen here from tarotspirit.net. I am doing your reading for June 2020. So thanks for joining me. This month on June 5th, we have the full moon lunar eclipse in the sign of Sagittarius. And June 21st is the new moon on the solstice as we move into the sign of Cancer. So happy birthday to any Geminis born in June, or if you're watching this in May. Okay, let's get going here. See what's going on. I think the astrology is pretty active, I would say, is the good way to put it, because I'm not an astrologer. So I don't want to say intense, because I'm not sure if that's the right adjective, but I would suggest you find your favorite astrologer or whatever, and check it out for your sign, because it's a lot going on. Gemini for June. I hope everyone's doing okay. I have two people that are in hospice right now, actively dying. Not COVID related. I swear, and this, I don't know if this is true actually, because I know enough about astrology to be dangerous, but I was like, why are all these people dying? I feel like all these people are dying, like stars are dying, and not even COVID related, just in general. And there was that full moon in Scorpio. Is anyone an astrologer enough to tell me if that's something that happens with full moon in Scorpio, that we lose people? I don't know. But anyway, if everyone's doing okay, have strength. So when strength comes up in a reading, for me, this card is nothing about brute strength and how much you can bench press and things like that. Although you may start working out. I see, like, I'm seeing myself in my head I do videos on YouTube. If you buy a couple weights, and you can get them from discount stores very cheaply, or you can use soup cans, or there's full body or body weight workouts, that if you just have a rug and a TV or a computer or even your phone, and you're watching YouTube right now, that you can work out. So I see someone kind of really getting into that and starting to like admire their muscles, which I think is good. You should be proud of the hard work you put into taking care of your body. So that was, sorry, just an aside for someone, but Strength card is really about having the strength and character and courage to make yourself vulnerable, to put yourself out there. So to ask someone out, to apply for a job, to stand up for yourself, to be going through a rough time, but knowing that you can get through it, and you will get through it. Reaching out for help when you need help. This was on my mind, but when I was getting ready for this video, that some of your mental health may be struggling, and why wouldn't it be? I think we all should be in some way. This is not normal what's going on, and to really reach out for help and not to be shamed. There's a lot of shaming going on about. It's one thing if a celebrity is like, "Oh, I'm so bored in quarantine," and they have like a pool and a tennis court and whatever, and at their house. I can understand why people are like, "Oh, stop complaining." But if someone's complaining, like, I'm struggling with this, I feel lonely, I feel scared, I feel it doesn't matter how much money you have. No one escapes those types of issues. It's just the human condition. So if you or someone that you think might be struggling, reaching out, that's having strength and courage. It's hard to ask for help or to reach out to someone, just say, hope you're doing okay. Are you doing okay? What's going on? I feel like for a lot of it, Okay, well, I want to see what the other cards are. Sorry, I literally like ate my words. Ooh, Six of Wands, victory. Yeah, something you're really afraid to do, you're actually going to not just do well, but be like the best at it. In if you are entering any competitions or applying for a job, you'll come out on top. This is also going home, a homecoming. You could have your um, name put in the local paper or some announcement by your company calling you out for something you've done well. I like to always remind people though with these cards, if we're always looking with this card, if we're always looking for external validation, um, it's tricky because it is really nice to work really hard and be recognized for it, right? So I don't have a problem with that, but I think there are so many little wins that only we know about that I don't think we give ourselves enough credit for. So really make sure if I don't know, you're around someone that really triggers you and you didn't get triggered, that's a win. If if you didn't go back to you're trying to lose weight or something and you just bored eat, or well, I do that. Oh, it's terrible. Um, and you didn't go back for that snack when you found yourself just floating into the kitchen, like that's a win. Um, I don't, just any little small thing count your wins. It's worth it. What you focus on, right, is what you think about. King of Pentacles. So this is a very grounded energy. This energy is the type of energy that always saves 10% for a crisis. Like this is the person right now in quarantine that is like, I'm good because I've always saved 10%. And they've had an emergency kit and you know, but they're just very practical, down to earth, reliable. Um, it's almost like, yeah, they'd be the type of person that when science comes out and says, um, prove something, they'd be like, well, yeah, of course. That's why we've done it that way for thousands of years. Like they just know. They just have this relationship with the earth and with, um, they just know how to prepare. They know how to they understand the cycle of earth, the wheel of the year. You know what I mean? They just have this knowing that not everyone has. He's a very good manager. He could be an entrepreneur. He could be in finances. Maybe you are worried because of what's going on financially, and you'll talk to a financial advisor or apply for a loan, unemployment, anything doing with your money. Maybe you're going through that. But remember, so far we have the Strength card and the Six of Wands. Some of you, if you are, if what's going on right now could have made you reconsider sort of everything. But your tangible life, so where you work, how you commute to work, your home environment, your workout routine, your how your house looks, how cluttered it is, how well it's maintained, um, resources, things like that. And you may have a radical shift. Well, you may actually have a really practical solution where everyone's like, "Oh my God, that's genius!" Why? But it seems so simple and so right on. It's like, how did no one think about this before? Because there's a victory here. There's a big victory here. So some really practical solution to something you could have this month. But where was there something else? Oh, you may really want to downsize, want to move. If you're in the city, want to move to the country. If you're in the country, want to move to the city. Like you may really be rethinking um, how you live your life, how you commute, finding a job where you can work from home. Maybe you're just like, I don't want to spend 2 hours commuting every day, and and I'm not spending gas, and you're doing the math and trying to figure out, yeah, I could even take a pay cut to work at a job that's either really close to me, or move so you're really close to your job, or figure take a pay cut. It doesn't have to be a pay cut, but for a job that you could work at home. Like you're trying to figure out if something's feasible, and not just feasible, like you're going to make it happen, but it is going to take some. It's one of those things that people may be like, ooh, that's risky. Remember, that's their fear bubbling up, not necessarily anything about your situation. It's this their story and their comfort level with what you're telling them. But it was going to seem vulnerable. This may happen very quickly. With that Eight of Wands there too. What else is going on? Page of Shields. So, although it's interesting because this having the Page of Pentacles go to the King makes me think that this is something you've been thinking about for a really long time, and you may even have been saving money and learning and coming up with a business plan or a strategy to, like, you've always on some level been working towards something, and it's coming true and you're getting recognized for it. So this is something that you've probably been working on for a long time. So if it's a project, maybe the project was a year or two. For a project, that's a long time, right? If you're launching, I don't know, a big software system or something. But for other things in life, you could be been planning this and thinking about it or dreaming about it from childhood. Yeah, your fortunes are changing. Things are getting much better. Look at these cards. Strength, the Wheel of Fortune, two nice Pentacle cards, and the Victory card. Gemini for the win, right? I mean, and learning to stay grounded, to really take on that earth energy. So lots of earth energy. Maybe you learned something a lot during Taurus time. And you really learned it. Wow. You really learned to, I don't know, meditate, be present, go for walks, start gardening. Something where you've really found a good tool, a good way to ground yourself. And you feel so much more balanced and centered, because we want to stay at the center of the wheel. Maybe this. Oh my God. It's like first thing in the morning. It's 6:30 in the morning. You want to stay at the center, because if you're on top, yeah, that's great. And you do have a victory coming up, so keep this in mind. But, we're on the top, we're clinging, hanging on, we're at the bottom, then we're clambering back up. It's exhausting, this wheel. But if we can learn to stay in the center, and maybe we don't get crazy about the highs or as upset about the lows, but we're able to just chill and ride through things like this. So it's like on some level you have been doing this grounding work all along, so you were prepared for kind of the chaos that happened to the world. Or yeah, it's something that you learned. But I just hear Gemini for the win, Gemini for the win. I don't condone it, but if you're a lottery player, you may want to play the lottery. We got the Wheel of Fortune and the Victory card. Okay. A homecoming. You may be able to travel and see your family. Be safe, please. Especially for our elderly. Yeah, coming home. Maybe you're deciding to move back home to be near family. Yeah. Or maybe you connect with someone from your childhood as well. And the strength is always getting the courage to ask someone out as well. So maybe you've seen someone recently. I feel like it's kind of new, but maybe you knew them from the past. And this whole time period has made you realize how precious and short life is. And you're like, I need to ask that person out. And it's like the scariest fucking thing for you to do, to figure out a way to get in contact and to just navigate that, because that can be really hard, especially if it's not something you do a lot. So put yourself out there, go for it. Gemini for the win. Have a great June.